Finish the diagram first, then we'll do the sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Why everyone is coming late to the It's not ready. Sit here. Get up and first draw the diagrams, then we'll start with that. Draw the diagrams and label it. And these things they will ask in the exam about the flowering part. We have the longitudinal section of the flower and the germination of pollens on stigma. Both they will ask. Okay. If they ask the topic also, you should write the diagram and explain. In biology, it is for 30 marks. Very easy to score all the 30 in the biology. If you write the diagrams and if you miss 1 point also, they will give full marks. If you don't write the diagrams, they will not give full marks. Now only I'm telling you have to practice. You should write. At least 2 marks question also you should write. You have to write. Okay. Both the longitudinal and the another one germination thing. Both are there. Both you should draw. Fast, right? Fast. Oh, that's what I told now. Why the diagram? That is longitudinal section of the flower and germination of pollen grains on the stigma. Both the diagrams you have to write it. It is there in the textbook and the guide both, I think. Write down. Write down bisexual flowers. Example: lily, rose, hibiscus, mustard, etc. Unisexual flowers. Unisexual flowers. Example: papaya, watermelon. Okay, mango. All these comes the unisexual flowers. That means they have either the male or the female reproductive part of the flower. No, nothing like that. It is not. Both will turn into fruits. Okay, you are telling by seeing the example. Yeah, most of the flowering plants, yeah, it is bisexual. Yeah, that is it. Okay, right. Okay. Okay, now write a flower comprises of four main parts. They consist of four main parts. Okay. First one is the sepals. Then second one, it is the petals. Third one, stamen. And fourth one, it is the carpels. Okay. Hmm. So, what are the four main parts of the flower? First one is the sepals. Second one, petals. Third one, stamen. Fourth one, carpels. Okay, so these are the four main parts of the flower. Sepals means we have that in a flower, the green part in the bottom will be there. No? That is called as the sepal. I think. Yeah, in the drawing, if you see the green part which holds the petals, right? So that part we call it as the sepals, and the petals are the one which is the which has the colors. What we see is the petals. Okay. Write down stamens. Hmm. I. It's really required. Okay, we'll show that one. Okay, stamens and carpels. Okay, are the reproductive part of the plant. Stamens and carpels are the reproductive part of the plants. It is the reproductive parts of the flower. Okay. So stamens and carpels are the reproductive part of the flower. Carpels. Four parts. Okay. Stamen, right? It is the. Okay, write down the stamen. It is the male reproductive part. It is the male reproductive part of the flower. It is the male reproductive part of the flower. A single flower may have number of stamens in it. It's a male reproductive part of the flower. Stamens. This is done. So first is the bisexual flowers and the unisexual flowers. Bisexual flowers and the unisexual flowers. So bisexual flowers are the one which contains both the male and the female reproductive parts. So examples are the most of the flowering plants we see that, like lily, rose, hibiscus, and all. And the mustard is also a bisexual flower, which has bisexual parts. Unisexual flowers, that means they contain either the male or the female reproductive part. So So example, papaya, watermelon are all unisexual flowers. Contains the unisexual flowers. Then it has a flower consists of the four main parts. One is the sepal, petals, stamen, and the carpels. So the stamen and the carpels are the reproductive part of the flower. So stamen, it is the male reproductive part of the flower. Okay, and a single flower may contain a number of stamens. Huh. Okay, next one is the carpel. It is the female reproductive part. It's a female reproductive part. It is present in the center of the flower, which is present in the center of the flower, which is present in the center of the flower. Okay, in the carpel, we have stigma. In the carpel, we have stigma, style, and ovary. Stigma, it is the terminal part of the carpel. Which may be sticky. So it helps. Terminal part means the end part of the carpel. It is the stigma, which is usually sticky in nature. It helps in receiving the pollen grains. It helps in receiving the pollen grains. It helps in receiving the pollen grains during pollination. During pollination. Okay. Next comes the style. It is the middle elongated part of carpel. It is the middle elongated part of carpel. It helps in the attachment of stigma to the ovary. Okay. So in the carpel, we have the three parts: stigma, style, and the ovary. Stigma, it is sticky in nature, which helps in receiving the pollen grains. And style, it is a connection, middle elongated part. It's like a pipe-like structure, which connects the stigma and the ovary. Okay, which connects the stigma and the ovary. Third one is the ovary. It is the swollen part. It is the swollen bottom part of the carpel. It is a swollen bottom part of the carpel. So it contains ovules. Okay, having an egg cell. Having an egg cell. Next, write the pollination. What is pollination? The transfer of. Write down this. Don't talk afterwards. You can talk. Wait. Between talking. The transfer of pollen grains. Okay. The transfer of pollen grains from the anther from the anther of the stamen to the stigma of flower. To the stigma of a flower is termed as pollination. It is termed as pollination. Okay. So transfer of pollen grains from anther of the stamen to the stigma of the flower, it is termed as pollination. In that, you have two types. Pollination usually occur in two types. Pollination occurs in two types. Okay. First one, it is the self-pollination. Self-pollination. So self-pollination means the pollen, write down this, the pollen from the stamen of a flower is transferred to the stigma of the same flower. So there are two types of pollination. One is the self-pollination. Second one is the cross-pollination. Self-pollination means the pollen is the what? Pollen is the male reproductive part, right? So the pollens from the stamen of the flower, it is transferred to the stigma of the same flower. From the stigma, it reaches the ovary. Okay. So self-pollination means pollen from the stamen of that flower is transferred to the stigma of the same flower. Then we call it as self-pollination. Okay, cross-pollination means if it is transferred to the different flower or a different plant flower, then it is a cross-pollination. What are the what which pollination occurs? See, first thing, it is unisexual and bisexual flowers. If it is a bisexual flower, then only this self-pollination can happen. But if it is a unisexual flower, it cannot happen such pollination. Always it is cross-pollination. That's all. It's bisexual. It can happen, but the self-pollination can also happen in that. Next one is the cross-pollination. The pollen from the stamen of a flower is transferred to the stigma of the different flower, to the stigma of the different flower. The pollen from the stamen of the flower is transferred to the stigma of the different flower. Then it is called as a cross-pollination. Last one is the fertilization. So pollination is followed by the fertilization. Pollination is followed by fertilization in plants. Write down this. It is the Which one? This remaining part you study, no, two sheets are there. After fertilization, zygote divides many times. Okay, zygote divides many times. So after the pollination, we have the fertilization where the fusion of the male germs with the female gametes and it gives rise to zygote. Zygote, it divides many times and hence it grows very faster. Cell division in zygote is very fast, so it grows faster. Zygote, okay, forms an embryo within the ovule. This ovule then develops a tough coat and gets converted into a seed. So it gets converted into a seed. Zygote will gets converted into a seed. The ovary rapidly grows and ripens as fruit. The seed contains the future embryo that develops into a seedling under suitable condition. That is, it grows into a new plant. A seed grows into a seedling that is a new plant under the suitable conditions. So, what does the mainly the seed contains? It contains the genetic information about the plant, and it contains actually the proteins, which helps it to sustain until the plant can produce their own food. What does the seed actually contains? It contains the genetic information about the plant. Okay, and also it contains the proteins which helps the plant to sustain until it can produce its own food. Okay, so develops into a seedling under suitable conditions. So this process is known as germination. This process is known as germination. This process is known as germination. Here we will end the today's class. Do not forget to subscribe the channel. If the content of this channel is useful, please like the video and share with your friends. Thank you.